Rolling?
Yep, we're rolling.
Cool.
Hi, Scott.
Live from the Farmland Fresh Dairy Studios, this is Serial Killers.
This is Serial Killers. I'm Scotty B.
Oh, and I'm
you're
Andrew. Yeah.
And our friend Ben Mandelker is here.
Woo! Hi, Ben.
Hi, how's it going?
We met Ben in Austin last month during the iHeartRadio Podcast Awards, and his podcast, Watch What Crappens, was up for, was it Pop Culture? Best Pop Culture?
Best pop culture podcast.
And they won. We did not. So we've invited a winner on the show today because we're just a bunch of giant losers. And this is going to be an interesting hybrid type of podcast because we're going to start it off as a serial killers. And then I have to get the hell out of here because I have an appointment. So we're going to turn it into a bold chat where you guys will just chat and chat and chat about all things Bravo that I know nothing about.
And board games. He also likes board games.
Board games.
So down to talk board games.
Oh, I wish I didn't take that limited edition board game home that General Mills sent us. You know, General Mills made, the Lucky Charms Mousetrap game. But
what?
Yes, it's Lucky Charms Mousetrap, and it's with Lucky the leprechaun instead of the.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I stole it from my daughter Cooper.
That's okay.
Otherwise, you guys could have played it.
It's probably better to be with Cooper.
Yes. All right, so let's get rolling because this cereal is. Well, first of all, what cereals do you like? Are you a sugar guy? Or you like? What do you like?
Well, unfortunately, I'm at a place in my life where I have to eat healthy cereal, like Kashi, the Kashi Hearty O's or whatever it's called.
Okay.
It's like the hearts. It's like barely has any flavor and purports to be good for my heart.
Perfect.
But I grew up eating Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay.
That was like my go-to. Then I had a period of time where I ate Life. And I've always loved Special K.
Okay.
Which version?
Plain.
No, that's fine. It's all
Plain.
good.
Last week, I have to say, this may be TMI, but I feel like this is a place for sharing.
Yes, it is.
Last week, I had my baby's first colonoscopy, and
Oh.
I had to have a low-fiber diet, and they said puffed rice cereal, and I said, I am eating Special K this week.
Congratulations.
And I ate so much Special K. I had it for like breakfast. I had it for lunch because I love Special K.
It is a good one. It is a good one.
And me being the big boy that I am, refused the colonoscopy, and I just pooped in the box. You know, the Cologuard, you know, that thing?
Yeah, but I
just
feel
did
like
that.
it's two different. I feel like it's two different. Oh, yeah, I guess
Kind of is, but my doctor said it was fine, and I'm all good. So let's move on and eat some healthy, crappy cereal. So the one that we're only going to do one today because this is abridged. The one that I chose for us because you like healthy is going to be a disgusting cereal.
Good.
This is one of the Magic Spoon cereals. Have you heard of them?
Oh no, I haven't, but
they
I
not,
like
like,
this
sponsored?
hot daddy on the front.
Andrew, what is that clip art you call it? Where's that called?
Canva. It's Canva.
Yeah, there's like a muscle daddy on the front of that.
Riding a dinosaur?
So Magic Spoon is a line of cereals that started off just being sold on the internet. You saw ads on Facebook all the time.
Like your podcast never was. So we're sponsored by Farmland Fresh Dairies. Thank you so much, Farmland Fresh Dairies.
Can you eat cow's milk? Drink cow's milk?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Amazing. But like they sponsored a whole bunch of stuff because they're really leaning into like millennial focused advertising. So they were on a ton of podcasts. Like, you want a healthy cereal? Magic Spoon.
But not cereal podcasts.
No. I think it's because we've trashed, 4 out of 5 of them.
See, that's the one thing. I don't really think that a cereal company could sponsor us because we would just crap on them if we didn't like it. We like to tell the truth and tell things how it is. And if it's not good, we're going to say it's not good. So anyway, Magic Spoon started as just internet only. Now you can get them at Target, Walmart, big supermarkets, everything. And these are like $10 a box.
Well, cereal has gone up in general. My cost is about like $6 or $7.
It has. So you have to.
It's a lot of money to spend for not a lot of flavor.
Right. So this is cinnamon roll flavor. We have not had very good experience with Magic Spoon cereals. This is probably like the 6th or 7th one, and I think only one of them we did not spit out.
Okay.
So,
do they all have like some sort of muscle daddy on the front?
They all
wrestling
have
things.
Yeah, they all have the strange box art like that. I don't know if we have any.
I don't know. I think one of them has like Ursula, but like their version of Ursula, like a weird.
There's definitely like a gay that's working on the graphic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. The
And then
Canva
look-
is canvaing.
And the bag is like only 3/4 full. So after all that, it's $10 for 7 ounces of nothing. So anyway,
it looks nice.
yes, yeah.
Like it looks like
The graphic design person definitely was like, they just got out of college, they got their first job, they're working at Magic Spoon, they're doing the thing.
yeah.
They're trying.
And I can tell you the problem that we always have with Magic Spoon is it starts off okay. And then once you have it in your mouth for more than about 5 seconds, it turns to complete horse crap.
I've had cereals do that.
Yeah. It has that weird taste.
Because it's grain-free. Why are they proud that it's grain-free?
I guess gluten-free people like them or something. I don't know. So I'm going to go back to the Farmland Fresh Dairies fridge.
Vegans are.
I'm going to
interesting.
inspect their word jumble on the back here.
It's also too much. Like, if I'm eating
It's
breakfast,
so
this is unappealing to me. Like, give me 3 words, not 27.
It's very moonshine. They have moonshine this as a word here.
It's a young, hip cereal.
Oh, partner. That's spelled in the dialect version. Partner, not partner.
Dialect.
I'm trying to see if we have any. See, Andrew, he won't let me.
I found moonshine.
Oh, you got moonshine?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's probably better off with moonshine. But we're using Farmland Fresh Dairy's organic whole milk today.
No.
Oh,
So, Ben, that's
I'm
yours.
excited.
Don't be.
Oh, you already milked mine. Thank
I
you.
milked it. It smells a little bit like a cinnamon roll.
It's giving cinnamon.
right?
It's giving
looking-
it doesn't mean so what it gave.
Yeah, it's looking vaguely like I'm trying to see.
They look like Fruit Loops, but not fruity colored.
It looks a little bit like you've got honey smacks in there almost, but
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Not bad, right?
yeah.
Keep chewing. This one might not turn. I don't
This
know.
one's actually all right.
Right?
My first bite is perfectly
It's not
fine.
bad.
It's nice. It has more flavor than my kashi.
I feel like you failed us on this one, Scott.
Well-
Like, I was expecting bad. I got somewhat decent.
Mine's fine.
Yeah. She's not bad.
In fact, I like the airy texture.
It is an interesting texture. I kind of like
swear
them.
if your podcast gets sponsored by Magic Spoon after this.
We invite Magic Spoon to be a sponsor of Watch What Crappens.
I mean,
What's happening?
look, it's not spectacular. It's not incredibly sweet. It tastes healthy, and it doesn't have that after stevia / bean crap taste that we get usually from these type of cereals.
Right.
So it's not horrific.
I would dare to say I actually like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is actually
I like it.
shockingly decent. Do you know our rating scale?
No.
Okay, so what we do is a bowl is like a full star. A spoon is like a half a star.
Okay.
Up to 5 bowls.
Yeah.
So I'm simply going to give it 2 bowls because it's not as bad as I thought, but I don't love these type of cereals.
I'm going to give it 3 bowls and a spoon. Like, it's really not bad for a cinnamon cereal. It's a nice alternative.
Yeah, I think I like 3 bowls and a spoon.
Yeah.
I think that's just right.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a top tier. It's definitely no Special K.
No.
It's not a Honey Nut Cheerio,
No.
and
No.
it doesn't have like the indulgent fun of a Frosted Flake or like a Cocoa Puff.
I feel you on that.
But it's actually like quite tasty, and I really do enjoy this airy texture.
But would you go pay $10 a box for this, or are you just going to buy Honey Nut Cheerios for $1.99 when it's on sale?
You know, for $10 may actually knock it down a spoon.
Ah, look
Oh,
at that.
wow.
I don't
The
know if we really
value-
do it by
the
pricing,
value-
but you know.
The value is not great. But if we weren't considering value,
I mean, you can. It's your rating.
I guess.
I'm still gonna rate it based on, because sometimes if someone were to serve it to you, if you're at someone's house and they're like, here's some cereal, you're not considering value. So
Right.
I'm gonna keep it at 3 bowls and a spoon.
And this actually was served to us by one of our listeners. Matt sent this to us, so we didn't pay for it. So what the hell?
I'm finishing my entire cup of cereal.
I'm very impressed.
For a parting gift, you actually can take the magic
Yes,
spoon.
please do. But make sure you guys take a picture first.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, I got a bell.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. This is a day where I just have a lot on my plate. I feel like Andrew today. We're so busy, lots of meetings, lots of schedule things. So I'm going to go. You guys do what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, feel free to dive into some of the old rancid cereal.
I
on the
promise you I
counter.
won't do that.
Try what you want.
Maria's.
Yeah, yeah, it's been sitting there for months and months and months, and it's probably open. The bag is ripped open, so just enjoy the staleness.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much.
Thank
It was a
you.
pleasure, absolute pleasure
This
to
was
see
a
you
pleasure.
again.
And next time he comes back, we'll do a full episode. But
We'll do a
now we'll go
proper-
into more of a bowl
Yeah.
chat.
Hey, do your thing.
Great.
I'm very excited to
You have a
listen.
mic now.
I'm gonna take over this mic here.
Love it.
I'm gonna roll.
All I do is press the stop record button, right?
All you do is press the stop and then just title it with this keyboard here.
Okay.
And then hit enter, and it'll save, and I'll send it.
Thank you.
Pardon me, I gotta take my little cups here.
Oh, wow, you're actually taking things home. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, great.
I'm out.
Bye, Scott.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Scott.
We'll miss you.
You guys can just go ahead and talk. I think I forgot something. But,
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
great.
Newspapers.
Awesome. Okay, so, huge fan of the podcast.
Thank you very much.
10 out of 10.
Thank you.
And you've been doing it for 10 years?
12 years.
12?
Yes. Oh wow. Look at these.
That is a whole bag of marshmallows.
Yeah, that's wild.
They're nice.
Yeah, we've been doing Watch What Crappens for 12 years. We
Wow.
started in 2012.
Wow.
Which is wild.
I know. That's crazy. So, what made you want to start, did you and Ronnie just hit it off immediately? Like, where did you guys meet?
Yeah. So I used to blog. That's like my origin story is blogging. I started a blog 20 years ago with my friend. And
What was the blog?
It was called TVgasm. And we used to write recaps of TV. And at that time, no one was doing TV recaps. And so it was like, it really blew up. And we wound up actually selling the blog, which is wild.
Wow.
That was really the peak of like when everyone was like, wow, blogs, what's this new exciting thing that's going to be here forever? So we were able to cash in on that.
Great investment.
So then we were now like official bloggers, and we were like, we were bought by Buda Murray Productions, which did like the Real World and the Challenge and all
Very
that
cool.
stuff. And so now we needed to like build out our blogging staff.
Yeah.
And so we sort of like put out the word like, hey, submit to write. And so Ronnie, he submitted, and his sample was really good. So he started writing for TVgasm. And he lived in LA. So I'd met him a few times, and he was really cool, really funny.
Yeah.
So that's how we met. And then fast forward to 2010 or 11 or so, and I had left TVgasm. I started a new blog, and in that new blog, I had started to blog about the Real Housewives. And I got hired to host a web show about the Real Housewives called Housewife Hoedown. And naturally,
I love that title.
yes. And so my job as the host was that I always had to bring on guests. And so I would bring on Ronnie because I knew that he was covering the Real Housewives at TVgasm, and he's funny also.
Yeah.
And so I'd bring him on, and we just had like a lot of fun doing it. And also my friend Matt, I'd bring him on, and the three of us always had like really good chemistry. And then the network that the web show was on just went down. And so, but we still really enjoyed doing what we did. So we thought, like, let's start a podcast.
Yeah. And I feel like you were early to the podcast game, like 12 years ago. Like, nobody was doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Or if they did, it was like we don't really know how to get it, hope for the best. Like, maybe we'll find it someplace.
Like, there definitely were podcasts enough that there was, the Apple Podcast Store at that time. It was like, there was a podcast section on iTunes.
Yeah.
And there were podcasts, but it was really Serial that made podcasting like a thing that like everyone partakes in. It made it mainstream.
Yeah.
It made a thing that like a viable form of entertainment for people. So
For
we
sure.
were, I think, maybe about 2 years before Serial. The Serial
Trendsetter.
thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
We started podcasting. Basically, we
Wow.
invented it.
I think we were actually the first podcast. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
We came up with the word.
Wow. Love that. So what housewives did you like, would you say is, I know Diamond touched on it, but what's like your favorite version of the housewives?
Well, I've always loved Roni. Roni has always been my absolute favorite, like number one. Like I think Roni it's just perfection, and I've always loved it. I don't love the new casts. I just don't think that they have the right energy.
The only one I've seen is this new one, and I have to tell you, I was kind of like, I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, I think that Bravo cast it to be like, look at these like 5 fabulous or 6 fabulous women that you can be friends with. And I'm like, I don't want to be friends with my Real Housewives.
No.
I want to laugh at their delusion. I want to like see them and say, how do these people exist in a real world? How do these people go to a restaurant and act like this? That's what I go for a Real Housewife.
Same.
I don't go for like, this is the real New York. Like this is, I want to like, oh my God, I just want to sit and watch fashion influencers.
Right.
Like, I don't, may I curse?
Yeah, you can.
I don't give a fuck.
No. Like when I watch reality TV, I feel like I grew up in reality TV. Like Flavor of Love.
Yeah.
Legit. Like that was my like
Yep.
8th grade high school experience was
Wow.
Flavor of Love.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, the more delusional, the better. So when it's not, and you're trying to make me feel
It's
like
aspirational.
it's personal. Ooh, who is coming through on this mic? This is the fun part about these studios. We don't know how they work. Hey, Diamond, I can hear you in here. Oh, I can hear you in here. No, I can hear you. Can hear you. She doesn't get it.
You're a guest on Serial Killers at the moment.
Hold on. Maybe I move one of these down? Oh, I don't know about touching these
Yeah.
things. So this controls like all of New York in here. And so I'm just casually like, great. Yeah. No. Oh, great. It's fixed. Amazing.
It's
Amen.
really exciting.
Great. Okay, so we're back to the show. Amazing.
Back to the show. Fabulous.
Fun little technical difficulties.
By the way, should I be like looking at the camera like while we talk, or should I be looking at you?
Sometimes I look at that and I'm like, then I feel like I'm too.
It's like NPR, like the NPR skit on SNL.
I never saw that. Sorry.
You're a baby.
Sorry. But yes, Flavor of Love. I want delusional. I love delusional reality people. I don't understand the trend of trying to make them normalized. Like, they are not normal.
I think a lot of it is that it's short-sighted attempts to, I think in the past few years, there's been obviously a lot of discussion about giving terrible people platforms in American culture, and the dangers that come with that, which is, I think, a totally important thing to discuss.
Valid.
And it's also very valid. We do not want to be giving terrible people platforms because it's way more insidious than we ever expected, the ramifications of that. That being said, for the Real Housewives,
delusions.
how about we do more public service announcements? Like, please don't, let's watch these people and make fun of them, and let's not take any lessons from them. Okay, let's not. And I think what happened was that Bravo may have tried to pivot a little too hard into we want to give fresh, exciting faces a platform instead. It's but make them delusional. Make sure they're still delusional.
Yes, you have to cast the delusion. Otherwise, why are we doing a show?
Yeah.
There's no point.
We need to be able to make fun of them. I just don't think that I'm tuning in to feel like these people are my friends. That being said, I watched tomorrow night's Summer House. Oh. And I can't say anything because it's embargoed, but I was definitely watching along like they were my friends. I was sitting there with my chin on my wrist, just giggling. Every time Paige DeSorbo made a joke, I was like, Paige. I'm like, she's not talking to you, Ben, right? So I can aspire and I can blur those lines, but just
once the summer comes around, they tape in New York. You haven't been invited to a summer house party?
Years ago. I went to the summer house in season 2.
I love that.
Yeah. So Ronnie and I with Watch What Crappens, we do live shows, and the very first big live show we ever did was here in New York City.
Wow.
And that was during season 1 of Summer House, and we invited Kyle Cook. And so Kyle came with Amanda, and Christina Gibson, who was on season 1, came. And Steven, who was on season 1 and 2, came. So the 4 of them came to our live show, which is really cool. And as it happened, after that live show, I was going out to the Hamptons because my friends have a house there, which is very bougie. Yeah. And I was going to step into the bougie life. And so I told them, I was like, yeah, I'm going out to the Hamptons this weekend. They're like, oh, you got to come to the house. You got to come to the house. You got to see the house. I was like, yes. So we went to the house and
Were they filming?
They were filming. I'm proud to say I was fully edited out of the footage. I was not deemed worthy.
Damn.
Yeah, but it was great. It was so fun to be in the summer house.
Yeah. They tried to do a reality show once years ago. We're good, Diamond. Thank you. The show they tried to do, reality show years ago. And so we were mic'd for a scene and I was like, oh my God, where's this gonna go?
Wait, what was the reality show that you were on?
Oh, I can hear you again. Can I do these things? I don't know what that means. What does take out a queue means? Oh, that's also Dr. Brad, the foot doctor from My Feet Are Killing Me.
Oh.
You never know who's going to stop by.
Does he do foot massages? Can I get a foot massage from him?
I think you actually could.
It's probably insulting. He's a doctor.
Yeah, so true, so true.
Can I get a foot massage?
My feet hurt.
Nice to meet you. I hear you do something with feet. Can I get a foot massage?
Oh.
Learn something about your equipment.
I don't know. This is a scary board. Sorry.
This is cute. You take all that out.
Oh, thank you,
Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Any hairs at all.
Thank you, Gandhi.
You're welcome.
We've learned things now.
Yeah. Wow.
He's been working here long enough. He should have known.
Oh,
I'm not union. I can't touch the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now you're fixed.
Not a part of SAG-AFTRA. Thank you. So yeah, they mic'd us. It was supposed to be a whole scene, and we were at a restaurant, and I was supposed to bring up the scene.
If this is for Summer House?
No, this was for the reality show they were going to do of the morning show.
Oh.
Yes,
okay.
We had cameras filming for 2 weeks. Never went anywhere.
It's like a sizzle reel, basically.
Yeah, and it was I just remember sitting in the restaurant. I had to bring up the plot because I was Elvis's assistant, so I had to. One of the people we were out with, she was planning her own show, and they were like, "You have to say the line." like Elvis is counting on you. So like literally in the middle of like this lunch that's going nowhere, I had to be like, you better not mess up because Elvis is really worried about this show. No wonder why it's on the cutting room floor. Like no drama whatsoever.
Commercial break.
Commercial break. I should have flipped the table.
Yeah, you should have. I mean, it's interesting. So I've never been a reality star, but I've like flirted with the experiences. Like I was at the summer house thing. I did. I'm a huge Big Brother fan, even though
I can't get into it.
The show. I mean, it's a terrible show. You're safe.
I'll save myself.
But like, Big Brother, what they used to do is they would have like it was called Media Day, and they would invite members of the media into the Big Brother house. This is like maybe like a week or 2 weeks ahead of the season. To promote the show, they'd invite members of the media into the Big Brother house, and you'd spend the whole day there and have like the Big Brother experience. And so you'd do like you'd all be in the house together. You'd do like a head of household competition. You do like a veto competition. There's nominees, all this stuff, and you're mic'd up. You go into the diary room, and at the end, they edit together a little episode.
Fun.
And so it was obviously a dream come true for me to be in the Big Brother house. I got to go in because my friend Joe Adalian, who's a TV writer or critic, he like sort of sponsored me. He said like, "Oh, Ben's going to write something for whatever the publication was. Maybe it was like The Wrap. I don't know, some bizarre."
Fun.
So I got to go in, and it was so fun, and I got to pretend to be a reality star for a day.
Oh, I love that.
And it was so fun getting mic'd up, and like so I did it 2 years in a row, and the first year I did it like as if I were playing Big Brother, which was I was like pretty chill. I didn't want to make a splash. And when I watched the DVD, I was like not on it. They had me as like for like one diary room, and I was like, that's so wrong. So the second year, I was like reality star, and I was like, this is how it happens, because you get that bug. Because I went in the second season and I was like loud and brash. I didn't care who overheard me strategizing. I was like, and I was all over that DVD, and I was like people like I don't know. I was the bane of people's existences, and at least in my mind, I was. Everyone's probably like, "Oh, Ben was very nice."
You watch it back and you're like, "Sorry, excuse me,
I'm so sorry. I just want to make
overheard?
Can you do a strategy?"
I want to make a strategy with you."
Can I make strategy? But like I totally could see how that bug for like screen time takes over.
For sure. I am a huge Survivor fan. Survivor's like my
I'm
show.
2 episodes behind. I
haven't watched anything since 40.
The episodes are so long right now.
Yeah.
Like I watched the first 2 episodes of this season, and they're both 2 hours long. I'm like, we don't like.
It's a lot. I feel like that's what fans always wanted, but now that they got it, it's like, did we really need it?
It's hard, and like they have added so many convoluted things, especially in the beginning of the season. It's like, all right, people are going to go on a journey, and they go up to a mountaintop, and one person gets this, and one person gets that, and then there's this type of immunity, this advantage, and that advantage. And
Too
it's
much.
Like, just let me play. What? Hidden immunity idols, that's fine. Just do that.
Too much. So season 37 and 38, I made it to finals casting. Like I was about to be on it, and I got cut. But it was like you had to stay isolated and by yourself for the casting, and I disliked that immensely.
Yeah, they put you in a hotel, right?
Yeah.
And it's for a while.
Yeah, it was like a full week of just like by yourself. You eat by yourself. You go to like producers meetings, and you're just there. It's like, yeah, what am I doing? This is scary.
Yeah, they got to like get you through that, so that way they know if you're really. My friend went through that, and he got all the way to the end, and then
Scotty is calling. Yes, Scott Bowden. Yes. No. Okay.
I can
Scott.
hear you though.
Hey, Scott, you're on speaker now.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't know about you guys, but I now have like a film on the top of my mouth. I've already had to drink 2 bottles of water because whatever the cereal did to me. So I might have to amend my rating.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So you called in to amend your rating. Okay, go for it. Yeah, sure. What are you doing?
I'm pretty sure I gave it 2 bowls. I need to drop it down a spoon to a bowl and a spoon because of the after effects. That's all.
A film on your mouth?
Yeah, it seems a little critical. I'm not going to lie. I don't feel the film.
I don't have the film?
No.
I don't. Maybe it interacts with my saliva differently than it does with yours. But if it happened to me, it could happen to others. So they lose a spoon. Just checking in.
It's okay. A good PSA.
Well, thank you so much, Scott. We appreciate you.
Sorry to interrupt. Take care now.
Bye.
Wow, that's so bizarre. I don't have any, but I wonder, I've been sort of sipping this coffee. Maybe the acid in the coffee is dissolving the film.
I've literally had nothing.
I really enjoyed that cereal.
I tell you, it really wasn't bad, and it's been bad. Like the chocolate one is, like not it,
Wow.
not it. But
This
that
was
was
good.
decent. Yeah,
Yeah, I liked
a
it.
decent one. But anyway,
Okay, so-
reality people, not for me.
No.
Maybe one day, who knows? But for right now, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
like,
It's fun to visit. It's fun to visit the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love seeing, I live in LA. I love encountering a reality show shoot. I feel like one of the most special things that ever happened to me is that I once went to a bar and Audrina was filming a scene
Hills?
for The Hills.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And I was like, I got to be there. I got to see a scene from The Hills being filmed. Like that was at that time, that was the dream, to be somewhere and they were filming for The Hills. And I got to see her on a date with Ryan Cabrera. And I was like,
that was peak 2000s right there.
oh my God, you don't
Yeah.
even know what a
Wow.
dream that was for me.
Wow. So that one was fully scripted, though.
So I think it was largely scripted. So from my understanding of it was that the scenes and the scenarios were scripted, but what they actually said in them, it was like not scripted interactions. I think that like that's a thing with reality TV, I believe, is that obviously there's a good amount of scripting and manipulation, but I think like the worst reality shows are like truly all scripted, where
Yes.
they're really like they're lines and there's all of it's lines,
And you can tell.
and you can tell
Yeah.
because if these people were good actors, they wouldn't be doing reality TV.
So accurate.
Right?
Like, completely. Like, yes, they definitely have. And this is what I try and explain to people, especially when it comes to like Real Housewives. There are storyboards. Like, they
Yeah.
know that like this character throughout the season is going through a divorce. So how is the divorce going to interact with this? And
Yes. And how do we get from point A to point B?
Exactly.
And I've been told that like for instance, certain shows, there's a show I heard about that a producer, like I think it was Jerseylicious, like
I'm so sorry. Wow. Okay.
it's like they decide, they know where they want the show to go, and then they work backwards like, okay, how can we get the characters to get to this place?
Got it.
And so there is that, but I think that the best shows, if it is scripted, like highly scripted, you don't see the seams. So I actually really think the Real Housewives are top tier because the interactions often feel very organic. Like some of the stuff they say in the confessionals, like, yeah, it's planned, or like you also can tell if maybe they said something and the producer said, that was really good. Can you kind of just like say it like this instead? It'll be a little
Exactly.
tighter. Or like sometimes I'll have them re-say something.
Yeah. It's a
which is
show
fun.
at the end of the day. So you
Yeah.
want the best product.
But what I don't like is when it's literally just so obvious that like this has been something that's been written, and these people, like, God, a lot of the shows on E are like that, are really highly scripted, and they sit there and they're like doing sing-songy. It's like watching a 6th grade play, and they're like, the other day I was really upset with when she said that. It makes me wonder, like, is she even a friend? I don't know.
Okay, wait. So there was a show. Me and my friend Miranda love watching one season wonder reality shows. Like only one season. Give me the worst of the worst. So Tinsley
Yeah,
from The Housewives,
right.
that
she's on-
Diamond was obsessed with, she had a show one season, 2008.
Yeah,
It was
like the High Life or something like that.
Yes. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen it?
Uh-huh.
It is so bad.
Yeah.
When we're talking scripted, like there's just that random woman, Devora.
God, I forgot about that.
Oh,
Devora.
I've watched it at least 3 times. Like that is, we watch it.
You know, the thing is that
It's fantastic.
it's the celebrity reality shows that are the biggest offenders, because celebrities actually have an image that they're trying to protect, and they are very like, is always highly scripted, which is why I generally don't watch the celebrity reality shows. But sometimes there are some where, like, despite the scripting, like the weird shit comes through. Like Whitney and Bobby Brown, when they had their show, that was like, you cannot script Whitney Houston asking Bobby Brown to like wipe off a dingleberry from her ass, or Paula Abdul like sobbing through her show.
I never
you know.
watched either of those, but I do remember the Whitney Houston one.
Yeah.
The scene when they're in, I think, the Las Vegas strip mall, and they're like trying on glasses and doing like the
Yeah.
head bobbing thing. 10 out of 10.
Those are both Bravo shows, actually, which is the craziest part.
Really?
Bravo shows. There was like, obviously, I think the first big, or maybe the first ever celebrity reality show was The Osbournes, which was such a big deal.
MTV, yeah.
And I remember when that show ended, and they did like a bit where it was like clear that they were like saying lines that were, and I was like, I could not believe it. I thought it was all real.
I thought you guys were really doing these things. Yeah.
The Osbournes was such a thing. I think people forget about that. It was such a thing.
Yeah, it's like an early, the first of its
It was-
kind in like the family style reality show that didn't really exist before then.
It was part of the first wave of reality TV. It was like, in that first from 2000 to like 2004 or 5.
Yes.
It was that everything was being thrown at the wall.
The Surreal Life was my other personal favorite.
Loved The Surreal Life.
Yes, that one also didn't feel scripted. Like it just felt like these people truly didn't know how they got into this house.
Yeah.
And why they were there.
Yeah, I wonder, like, at what point did scripting become more, like, when did it really start to take over? Because I know for sure by 2005, there was a lot of scripting. Because I used to be a segment producer on a show called Reality Rundown on the Fox Reality Network.
Oh, okay.
And so I'd have to watch these awful reality shows, like a Ted Nugent show, or like just these random...
Oh, so you've seen the worst of the worst.
Yeah, there was a show with like Amy Grant, and like...
Not good.
It was called like 3 Wishes or something. It was like Amy Grant's like fixing communities.
We love that, but just not on the show.
I love Amy Grant. I was so happy to do an Amy Grant show, but it was a terrible show. And there's like Lisa Loeb had like a dating show. All these weird things.
Omarosa had a random one on like a public access channel that people forget about.
I love Omarosa. I love her so much.
She's a great reality villain. Again, I think she plays it extremely well. Like she knows she has to be a character, but at the same time, like
she's so good at it. Like she's been doing that for 20 years, being Omarosa. And I met her once, and like I just felt so connected to her. She was the best. Like we were just like we like hugged. We just became friends, and like. I don't know if she still follows me on Instagram. I don't know if she still remembers me, but like,
Fingers
God, I
crossed.
loved her. I loved Omarosa.
My question is just say Beverly Hills now. We talk about like acting being too much. It kind of taints the formula of the show. I feel like the Beverly Hills now is just all actresses. Like, I don't know when that started, but I just don't feel like
it has sort of moved into like
soap opera.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that because it does represent a certain kind of milieu of Los
I love
Angeles.
That word. That's a nice word.
Yeah, thank you. I invented that too with podcasting.
Oh, wow. Wow. The originator of a word and
Milieu.
podcast.
No, but because there is like, what's so interesting about Beverly Hills is that there is this like group of people who were all like either child stars or soap stars. They're just sort of like this mid-pack tier of actors, you know, that are like, they're not quite D-list because I think reality stars are now the D-list.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not A-lists and they're not really B-lists. Like it's like they do soaps.
If you're not a
Hallmark
Kardashian,
movies,
you're pretty much,
yeah. And
go back home.
And then they're also connected. They're all connected. It's an incestuous group of like David Foster and O.J. Simpson and the Kardashians. They all are connected in this. And they're all
pack.
really like bound by that O.J. Simpson murder. If you really look at it, they're all connected to it.
If there was one person then in the LA circle that you think could be on that show, like, so there is no Teresa, there is nobody moving the plot forward. Do you think that show needs someone like that there?
I would like that.
I think it needs it.
I think it needs like someone. I think it needs a little bit of an agitator, a
Yes.
disruptor. Brandy was that for a little bit, and then
I think she leaned too hard into being an actress and then it didn't work for her.
for Brandy Glanville.
Yeah, I think she really just kind of like, I don't know, bought her own hype, and that's kind of what led to the downfall.
Well, Brandy's downfall is that she's completely spiraling in the wake of this whole thing going on with the girls' trip.
Yeah.
With the allegations with her and Caroline. And, we've seen Brandy. She's a mess, but like she's sort of Brandy and she's messy. And Caroline was like, I don't want to deal with that. Like she's clearly Brandy was doing the Brandy thing and Caroline did not want it whatsoever, which is totally within Caroline's rights. And Brandy, I think it seems like without seeing the footage or knowing that Brandy should have just been like, okay, I went too far and I'm really sorry. I should have respected Caroline's boundaries. I thought that it was going to be funny, but it wasn't. But instead she's been out of control on social media, like
Like
going after
doubling down.
Bravo, doubling down, and it's like, oh, Brandy, no.
What are we doing? Like, this
What are we
makes no
doing?
sense. Just get over it. Like, say you're sorry, move on.
Say you're sorry, move on,
Yeah.
save your reality career. But now she's
Yes.
gonna be like untouchable.
Who knows? Maybe she'll wind up. Does Fox Reality still exist?
It turned into Nat Geo.
What?
Yes,
I'm so sorry. What?
yes, it turned into Nat Geo around 2007 or 8.
Well, maybe she'll get a nice dating show. The Nat Geo will make a show for her or something.
I guarantee that, like, she's proven now that she's a liability, and now she's, I think, joining Bethany with the Reality Reckoning. I don't know what's next for Brandy, but it's
Fingers crossed for the OnlyFans money.
maybe that's probably the next stop.
Yeah, I just feel bad, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, something about, I just think that just watching that show and just seeing her come back and be on these things, it felt like very much a character. Like, she knows she has to be an agitator, which
Yes.
there's a natural way to do it.
And she was doing a good job. I mean, she did a really good job on The Traitors. She was on 2
I never
seasons.
watched The Traitors, and I've heard it's so
my
good.
God.
Is The Traitors that good?
It's better than you could ever imagine.
Really? Okay, I'm
It's
in.
better. Like, you don't even
I'm invested.
watch both seasons. Season 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Season 1 was great as well. Just
Okay.
go watch season 1, then watch season 2.
Done.
And you will never be happier. Like,
Okay.
I've converted so many friends to it. People who don't watch reality TV.
I've heard it's like an escape room meets like there's so many fun little puzzles that they do, and
Sort of. It's really like the game Mafia. You ever played Mafia?
I love Mafia. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, well, it's Mafia. It's literally it's like watching reality stars play Mafia.
I love
That's
that
all
idea.
it is. That's all it is. It's literally like you have a large cast, and some of them are traitors, the rest are faithful, and the traitors are quote unquote murdering the faithful, and the faithful are trying to find the traitors, and that's all it is. And they throw in competitions. The competitions don't really make sense because they don't do anything.
Yeah.
They just throw them in because some executive was like, "Well, we need to show something for the trailer."
We need action.
But like, yeah, we need action.
Yeah.
But like, we don't need it. Like, it doesn't have any consequence to the strategy or the implications or anything. But like, who cares? The competitions are fun, but they're useless.
Unnecessary.
The show is so good.
In.
Yeah.
I'll watch that one.
You will love it.
Okay, so Catan board games. What's your favorite board game?
My favorite board game of all time is a game called Concordia.
Shut.
Do you know that?
I love Concordia.
Okay.
Yes.
Concordia is the
Love
best.
that game. It's all the best elements of Catan,
Yes.
where it's like you're never bored, meaning like you're always picking something up, and there's so much fun strategy involved.
Concordia is such a brilliant game because the strategy is deep and the choices are hard and it's
Yes.
really tense and the rule set is really small.
Yeah.
And I play like a ton of board games and like I love games with tons and tons of rules. Like Catan is often considered a gateway game because that's the first time you get your bite of like, oh, this is what board games can be. It's not just Monopoly. It's not just sorry.
Currency, there's strategy, there's so many
Engine
other elements.
building, area
Yeah.
control, and you're like, I remember. So I played Catan for the first time 10 years ago, 2014. Big moment in my life. I played it and I was like, I did not know a board game could be this utterly amazing. I was like, I
Yes.
did not know a game could fill me with these emotions. I was at a bachelor party weekend in Lake Tahoe, and all I wanted to do all weekend long was play Catan. I just want to play it over and over and over and over. Like
Yes.
I could not get enough. It was like
Can so relate.
it was like the world opened up to me, and then I started researching other board games, and I got into the board game hobby. And Concordia is like a great next step. Although you can play, I've played it with people who've never played real like sort of like strategy games, and that one's so good. But like there is such a world of games out there. Ooh, you don't know.
Diplomacy is the one that I really want to play.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
heard it takes an entire day, and
So-
I just don't know if I have it in me.
So I used to be scared of that too.
Yeah.
I've actually never played Diplomacy. The other thing I hear about Diplomacy is that it ruins friendships.
So I want to play it though. like I'm into that. Like I want to watch people strategize. Like that
Yeah.
brings me joy.
I still am not sure about Diplomacy, but what I will say is when I first heard about Diplomacy, it was like, yeah, it's a game, but it takes 6 hours. And I was
Yeah.
like, what? That's insane. Now I will now play a game that will be like 12 hours long, and it's fine.
Right?
It's fine. Because like who cares if it's 12 hours? You're to be able to spend 12 hours with your friends playing a game where you're all doing something together,
Yes.
given that like going out to dinner with your best friends, that'll be like a 2-hour experience. So to be able to spend 12 hours with your favorite people,
With
that
some
is a
light yelling at
privilege.
each other and
Yeah.
honing
Oh.
into your best reality villain self without needing to.
Yeah, you really can do that. Diplomacy is obviously legendary. I really enjoy a game called Twilight Imperium. If you're talking about an epic game,
I've never heard of this.
it's a game that you have to gather at like 10 a.m. and you're going to play till midnight.
Wow.
And it's great. It's a big epic space game. I'm not even like a space sci-fi guy, but you have like your spaceships and you build
Wow.
up your fleet and you go attack people. It's really fun.
I've never heard of this game. Twilight Imperium.
It's a big one in the hobby. A really good strategy game is one called Brass Birmingham or Brass Lancaster. Great games. They're like economic simulators.
Okay.
A
I've never heard of
blast.
that one.
Oh no, I'm telling you, there's so many.
I tried playing, they had a Katan, Settlers of America.
Okay.
The rule book was way too big. Like, I was confused.
All right. Well, sometimes, I'm sure there's like a video that might help.
I try. It's
Yeah.
usually the same three people. Like, they're really getting off on just one of those three. Someone's making money.
There's
Either
always
way.
like someone like sitting on like a wide shot, a static wide shot, being
Yes.
like, they do like a sing-songy thing. When you move your thing, now you do this. Play a card, and then you take the action. They always try to do like a newscaster voice, and it's like, but what happens is always the same thing, so you start like getting lulled to sleep.
You have a good audiobook voice. I feel like you could get into that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's like
I'll
you should do podcasting. It's great.
Listen, if someone wants to pay me to do an audiobook, that way I can say I actually read, because I'm actually be like literally reading the book. So.
Do you do Audible?
Do I do Audible? Audible is a sponsor of Watch What Crappens. We love Audible.
Also a sponsor of our morning show. So we love Audible.
We
as
love
well.
Audible.
So good. The books. Chef's
Yeah.
kiss. Let me think. What other games? Do you like Ticket to Ride?
So yes, Ticket to Ride is great.
Europe is the better version.
Europe is the better version.
It's also a simple game.
However, that being said, so Ticket to Ride would also fall under the gateway game thing. And the thing is with gateway games is they're always great. I just played Catan again like 3 weeks ago. And so like I still play my gateway games, and I love playing them, especially bring new people into the hobby. But what happens is as you explore these games, for me, my experience is that you find games that build upon those that are just even deeper and richer. And so while Ticket to Ride is great and I always will have fun playing it, like there's like a world of train games that takes Ticket to Ride and just like it's like on crack.
You
And
got to
it
get
just goes-
passengers on the train. How is the train moving?
There are
Like
games.
17
There are
different
games
elements.
like that actually, and then while Ticket to Ride is great, like I want some more meat on the bones. So and there are these games. I play a whole genre of games that they're very niche, but I'm making it my mission to make them not niche. I want to
wanna hear 'em.
mainstream these games because I think they're great, and I think that they're actually more accessible than their reputation is known for. The genre, it sounds to an outsider, the genre sounds wacky. They're called 18XX games, which sounds very desultory.
Yeah, what
It
is
sounds like porn.
An 18XX?
It's a series of train games that all seem to take place in like the 1800s.
Okay.
So
Oh, the XX is the...
so like one game's called 1830, one game's called 1841, one game's called 1822. So they just call them all 18XX.
Great.
So yeah, it just sounds like porn. It sounds like barely legal porn.
Yeah.
But it's actually they're just economic train games.
And saying it's an economic train game on the box doesn't sound as fun as 18XX to maybe get that like random person who's walking in and like, ooh, dirty trains.
Yeah. But they are like great. Those are like all day games. They're all long. Some people say I can play one in 3 hours.
I need to actually
Lies.
Google what this box looks like for an 18XX.
They're not like so. Let's see. What's a good box? Look up like 1822 MX. These names are they just fly off the tip of the tongue.
1822 MX. Okay.
That's one that takes place in Mexico and has a nicer box.
Oh, this looks fun. Okay.
Yeah, see, isn't that pretty? I like it.
Wow.
I chose that one because I like the color scheme, which is so okay. This is the elevator pitch that I do. I'm now looking at the camera because now I'm no longer addressing you. I'm addressing America. I've been addressing you the entire time. I've been sitting here hiding behind my camera like this, but now, okay. Imagine Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, Ticket to Ride is basically like you have a map of America
Or Europe.
or Europe. or many other places actually.
Oh, yeah, the North
Actually, there's a
Pole.
new Ticket to Ride Legacy that came out. That's supposed to be great.
Okay. Yeah.
But you're making these routes. You're making train routes. There's train tracks that reach across the map.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to connect, like, I don't know, like maybe LA to like Phoenix or something, or like New York to Pittsburgh. And you're putting these little pieces on, and when you put up enough pieces on the track, you've made your connection and you get points, right? That's the gist of it. And so imagine Ticket to Ride. And imagine if I'm watching, I'm like, Andrew is doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to invest in Andrew. And if he does well, I'm going to get a kickback.
Ooh.
Like like you have a stock. Like you have shares. You are a public company. There are 10 shares of Andrew. And I'm going to buy 20% of Andrew because I believe he's playing Ticket to Ride really well. And then you do really well. It's like, ooh, I just got $5 off of that because not real dollars, game dollars. I got $5 because your performance was so good.
Wow.
And now it's like, I'm not only caring about what I'm trying to do, I care about what you're doing. And maybe I want to help you do well because I'm going to get a kickback. And that is sort of an overly simplistic view of what 18xx games are, which is that like you are building a map, you're building routes.
But you're
But
investing.
you're investing in people and in your stuff. And
I love that.
the way that the decisions unfold from that it's remarkable. It's like my favorite thing.
I can see a lot of fights starting from that because if like
It
I'm
gets
choosing
tense.
to invest in you, but like I'm not investing in someone else, like I could see that causing some controversy.
You can get some controversy there. You can block people's routes. You can
Love
destroy their
that.
trains.
Oh,
Like
I am 100%
it's really like it's not for everyone, but I think it's for more people than people realize. And there is like math involved. Like that's where people get turned off. It's like because you have to calculate like okay, because you get money for the routes. Like my route from Trenton, New Jersey to Philadelphia is going to get me $30 or whatever, and I've got to divide that amongst all the shareholders. But you just got a calculator.
Yeah, easy.
Just like whatever, type it in and divide.
Yeah, usually I'm not the math guy. I leave that to someone else.
But
But
there's always someone at the table who does the math.
for
It's
sure,
fine.
I'm good at Catan. Is nice because I can resource draw. Like, oh my god, here's your brick. Like that's easy for me.
What's the best part about Catan is I think all the table talk is really fun.
Oh,
Like all the like negotiating, like that's so fun, and you could just do it for hours.
Yeah,
It was a blast.
Do you like the expansions of Catan?
So I don't actually own any of the expansions. I've
Impossible to
played
play
them.
the tabletop version. You always have to play it on Steam. It is not fun in person.
Which one? Like the Cities and
Cities
Nights?
and Knights and Seafarers.
So I've
Too
done.
big, not fun.
I've played them both. I have the 5 and 6 player expansion,
Mm-hmm.
but I played Seafarers, which was fun, but it just is like a bigger map, right?
Yeah.
And the Cities and Nights, I played it once and I enjoyed it. And some people say that's the best way to play it.
It's the only way I play it.
Really?
Yeah. It's the engine in it, it changes the whole game.
Right.
Like, because there's like an extra thing. You have to worry about pirates, which is like, what? Then you
Yeah.
have to worry about like where everybody else is going. There's tiles that you're flipping over. So much more fun. Way better game.
That's what everyone says, but I do enjoy the purity of just Catan.
For sure. Sometimes it's fun to go back to the original, the OG, and
Yeah, I've definitely heard that once you do Cities and Nights, like you just sort of that just becomes the way you play it.
it's a deeper strategy for sure. And then original Catan, I don't know, especially with new timers, it's like, I wouldn't say it's easy to kind of manipulate the game, but it's a little easier.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is that I like the purity, and I also am afraid that if I went to Cities and Nights, it might ruin the basic game for me, and then I like having the base game as like this special, like clean experience.
It's there. Yeah. My
Yeah.
friend Josh, who got me into Catan, probably literally the same time as you, he refuses to play any expansion. He's like, I'm only sticking with Catan. There's way better games out there than Catan. I'm gonna stick with the just that. Keep it simple.
Yes. Yeah, and like I play expansions for like literally every other game, but with Catan I keep it classic. I want the classic Catan experience.
Well,
Yeah.
let me think of what other ones I like.
I know. I would love to know what other games you're playing and what,
There's one I own. Like I bought this one off
Okay.
eBay. I was so prepped and ready for it. The rules were impossible. And I'm telling you, I tried. I really tried.
Okay.
But this was supposed to be like Mafia meets like a Concordia. Like it fit all the things that I wanted. Currencies involved. There's like a little wheel. Something AD. Some like
Something AD, but it has
They-
like social deduction.
Yes.
Was it
The box
Shadows
is real
over
old.
Camelot? Something AD.
And it's like, no, it's futuristic. Like 2037 or something. Imperial, maybe? I don't know.
Imperial. There is a game called Imperial 2030.
That one.
Oh, that one. Wait, that has nothing. But that one has nothing to do with Mafia, right?
So
It's the
did I
same-
buy this game thinking that it was?
It has
And then-
nothing.
Damn it.
Actually, that one's sort of close to.
Yeah, it's that one with the alien.
Wait, let me see. Yeah, Imperial. By the way, there's Twilight Imperium.
This one.
Yeah, that's the same designer as Concordia, actually.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
And this game is easy to learn. You played this.
So I played it once many years ago, and I could not wrap my brain around it. But I think that now I would, because that one's supposed to be like diplomacy and Catan sort of mixed together.
Yes.
And that one has the idea, right, that you are investing in companies, and the companies go and they attack each other on a map or whatever. That's the same concept as the 18xx game. That one actually takes from the 18xx genre and adapts it to diplomacy. Because in 18xx, you're investing in companies, and those companies build the rails. And in that game, the companies do the map stuff.
Wow. Okay. I need to learn this one. Like, this is on my list.
I've been meaning to revisit that because I played it in like 2016 or whatever.
Yeah.
But now that I know the 18xx genre, I think I would be better able to wrap my brain around how that game works, because it's really hard to think like you want to think like, oh, this is my company, this is me as a player, but it's actually no, you're investing in that company and you want that company to do well, but you pull out of it when
Got
it's
it.
not doing well and go to a different company.
Okay. We'll need to set up a board game night for sure, because
I would
I need to
love
learn
to
this
do
one.
that. And I would love to also like take you to one of the board game stores and show you the games that you might
Yes.
like. I'd love to show you, like, bring you deeper into the hobby. Like, I know I'm going to go to when I'm here in New York City, I go to the Complete Strategist. That's on.
Never heard of this.
Yeah, it's right by the Empire State Building. It's like 33rd and like 5th Avenue, something like that. And then there's a place down by NYU, but it's like very small and cramped. It's called like something Grounds.
Hidden? No, that's a coffee shop. We have one in Hoboken. It's not as fun either. Can you like bring, is it like BYO?
Well, the Complete Strategist is just a board game shop.
Oh, okay, great.
The one
Fine.
by NYU is like a coffee shop, whatever.
With board games.
With board games. A lot of
Okay.
board games. But you can buy board games there too. But like the one, the Complete Strategist has a huge selection.
I love that. The problem is my apartment, I'm in a one bedroom. I'm like really trying to find places to put these board games.
Well, what games do you have? You've got Imperial 2030.
Yes, I have Imperial 2030. I have Diplomacy. I buy them thinking like, oh, I'm going to set this
Yeah.
up. And then nobody is investing with me for, my 6-hour journey to play Diplomacy.
I guarantee you, if you do like a little bit of research or you go to Board Game Geek, you could probably find a diplomacy game to play. There are people out here. There are people in Manhattan or in New York City or Hoboken that will be down to play diplomacy.
Done.
I guarantee
need to
it.
play it. It
Yeah.
just seems so perfect. Like, I love the thought that like afterwards, after you strategize, then you find out like where people are attacking.
So
I
you
want
like
all of that.
Do you like attacky games? Do you like
Yes.
deception?
I love that. That's like my favorite thing because I
Yeah.
like being able to kind of just do your own thing. Usually it's for me, I have a very simple strategy. I usually just go in and very nice and then like hopefully get ahead and then it's like over and I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a Survivor fan, so you
Yeah.
like the backstabbing and all that stuff.
That is my ammo.
Have you played Secret Hitler?
That is one of my favorites.
That's my favorite of the social deduction
Yes.
games. Yeah.
So good.
That one is fantastic.
Yes.
I'm
Quarantine, that's how like I got through with my friends. It
Did
was
you
great.
play? Have you played Dead of Winter?
No.
Oh, Dead of Winter is one of my all-time favorites.
Okay.
Again, it's not like the setting is not something that gets me excited, but it's a game where it's like a cooperative game. So we're all playing together, and it's a zombie apocalypse, and it's winter time, and we're in like a town that's being overrun, and we have to basically survive. But one of us is potentially a traitor. And
Working with the zombies.
well, not necessarily working with the zombies, but working against us. Like they have their own agenda. Everyone has a private agenda, and everyone's private agenda makes them look like they're the traitor. And sometimes there isn't even a traitor in the game. It depends on the draw of like your agendas. And so you're trying to work together to achieve a goal for the colony, but the traitor may be subverting that. And It is.
That sounds wonderful.
So fun.
Yes.
It's one of my all-time favorite games. It is a brilliant, super, super fun game. I've never had a bad game of it. It's always been just great.
I did the mansion one where it's like you're in a mansion.
Mansions of Madness.
Yes.
I never played that.
Gotta tell you, not great.
It's not my style of game.
I didn't really understand what I was doing. I was in a basement. Somehow I got out of the basement. I was
Yeah.
very confused. And then we won. And I was like, this isn't
it's
connecting.
just not my type of game.
Yeah,
where it's
no.
kind of like trying to like emulate a sort of like movie or something like that. I don't like that. Like
Ain't for me.
there's a whole game like the former #1 game, Gloomhaven. There are all these games that are like campaigns and whatever. I don't want it.
No,
I don't
too
want it.
much.
I want strategy.
Yes, strategy always. Yes.
Yeah. And someone make an argument there is strategy. I get it. But
It's like storytelling. Like, I'm good. Like,
well, Dead of Winter, what's good is that the storytelling sort of comes naturally and flows into it, which is really good. There's an amazing game that's out right now. I don't know if this would be your vibe or not, but it really blew me away. It's called Hegemony. And basically, every player plays a different class in society. So the one player plays the working class, one player plays capitalist, one player plays middle class, and one player plays the state. And you're all working together to try to like not working together. You're trying to advance your segment of society, but you have to rely on each other. So like the capitalist class hires people from the working class. But the capitalist class has to pay the working class. The working class needs the jobs. Capitalist needs the labor. Middle class is sort of in the middle. The state needs to get taxes.
Jeez.
It's wild.
Yeah, that's
It
like a
is
whole
wild.
system, but that
It
sounds
is
fun.
so fun.
yeah. Okay, I'm in. Do you like Castle of Burgundy?
Of course.
Yeah.
Castle of Burgundy is a classic.
My friend Josh, who got me into Catan, he's like huge. He's, I think, number 10 in the world for Castle of Burgundy.
Number 10 in the world.
Yeah,
wow,
he's-
congratulations to Josh.
He loves the Castle of Burgundy.
It's
Love
great.
that one. He tried to get me into Agricola. I like
Agricola's
Agricola.
great too. It's
Sometimes
very
I-
intense.
Sometimes I just forget that I need to do certain things.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah, usually
It's
for
so
me
intense.
it leads to not like I luck myself into a win. Like I haven't Castle of Burgundy I could say like, oh, I can maybe put some strategy down, like I can think ahead. Agricola, it's like I don't know where this is going to go towards the end.
I have some friends who are super into Agricola. And
Yeah.
like that's like you can play it on like a super super high level. I don't play it like that, but first of all I enjoy just making a farm.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what the game is. You make a farm and you have to feed your family.
very peaceful.
It's very peaceful and the most stressful game you could ever play.
Yeah.
And you have little like animals that mate and they
Make more.
grow vegetables. It's like the most delightful sounding thing, and it's so stressful, but it's such a fun game. I just I don't play it very often just because my friends are always like, "Want to play Agricola?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I want to play my train game instead." They're
Yes.
like, "No, we're gonna play Agricola." I'm like, "Fine." But I don't know why I have an attitude about it because I love it and I own it and it's a great game.
I need to get into the 18XX. Like you've sold me on it.
Yeah.
Is it on
There's a website that you can play it on. You can play it
Love that.
online.
Yeah.
It's called 18xx.games.
don't add 3X's.
Don't add the third X.
Who knows where you're
But
going.
like it's important to learn the rules. I'm trying to think of like a good resource to learning 18xx. I could
YouTube?
send YouTube, but there's like the 18xx media content is a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. This
Not
is
it.
not like the best version of board game content.
Got it.
A lot of like older men wearing like train caps. So it's like, it just so you know, like just so you're prepared.
yeah, I'm in.
But the Board Game Geek, which is the central hub for all board game things, they do a video series called Game Night, where they have a group of people that always play games. And they did one for a game called 1830, which is like considered to be like the king of all the 18xx games. It was like the one that really kind of kickstarted this. Not kickstarted. It really broke through because the first 18xx game came out in like 1972.
oh wow.
So it's been around since the Vietnam War was still happening. It was before Watergate. It's been around for like over 50 years.
Been around the block.
But 1830 is the one that like broke through and like made it what it is today. So Game Night, the video series Game Night, if you want, that's how I was first intrigued by it. Go check out Game Night. They play 1830 and they sort of guide you through it and you'll get some good general ideas. There's also this really like fun lady named Ambi who does a She does a video called like Board Game Blitz, and she's like very cheery.
Love that.
And she loves talking about 18xx, so that's a good resource too.
Done.
I want to make some 18xx content for YouTube, but it's like it's not easy.
No, I mean, then you got to get the wide angle.
And then I'm the guy talking about trains on the internet.
Nice little side hobby.
Like, I aspire. Obviously, you can already tell I'm always trying to bring people into 18xx.
100%. I am into this game
because it's so fun, and like the more people that are into it means that there's more people I can play with.
Yes.
I'm very self-interested.
For sure. The next time you are in town, please set up a day. I will play 18xx.
I would. We'd probably need a third or a fourth person.
Done.
But
Easy.
like,
I can get it.
and we'll need like a table space. We'll need some table
Great.
space. We'll fix because I will do this.
I'm in. I'm
Okay.
100% in. I'm always down to learn new games.
Okay.
I am ready. I love everything you've mentioned about this game. It sounds like an elevated strategy game. I love Concordia. I'm in.
Yeah, it's not like Concordia at all, but it's
Not like that one. It's more strategic.
Ticket to Ride
on steroids.
on steroids, and just like you will never go back to Ticket to Ride after it. I have to say, it's just so good.
In.
Or you will hate it, and you will say, "I can't believe Ben made me waste 6 to 8 hours playing this game."
Listen, when a game takes that long, to me, I feel like it usually means the game is good.
Yeah, well, one thing that I will warn you about is that the sort of like the last hour of it can be a little tedious. A lot of people just sort of stop playing. They'll say, "It looks like you're going to win, so let's just say you won," which is sort of funny.
Natural end.
It's sort of you sort of like play the game until the bank runs out of money, and so sometimes you're sort of going through the motions, and especially if it's late at night, it sort of has this weird, not great finale element to it. But who
It's like
cares?
12, 1 in the morning. You're like, I gotta go.
The journey through it is so fun and
Yeah.
so rewarding, and there's so much fun table talk, and there's so many fun like negotiations, negotiations, and there's just so much depth to it. It just is. It's the best.
You got me. I am in. We will play 18xx.
I never thought that this podcast would start with cereal. And then somehow get to 18xx. Like I'm actually blown away.
This is why
breadth.
we were award nominated. Truly, just blessed.
The breadth.
Didn't win,
with,
but
by the way, a
nominated.
substantial section dealing with reality TV and Real Housewives.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
I mean, that's our Wednesday episodes. It's bowl chat, so we could just talk about whatever.
I'm so impressed because you really hit like the three things that I love the most in life, which is food, reality TV, and board games.
Yeah.
It's like literally my three passions. Like I have a food newsletter. Like I do Watch What Crappens. I do a food Substack, and then I do co-host a small board game podcast. So this is literally my three creative outlets are right here on this podcast now.
Damn, wow, bowl chat. We really hit them all. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure next time you're in town, we'll not only play board games, we'll do a full serial killers.
Yes.
We'll blow it up. So
I'm looking forward to that.
well, thank you so much for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me.
Awesome. Well, bye guys. See you later. This wasn't live, but bye.
Bye.